All right, so we'll start and develop our next visual, 1.2, which should show the top 10 products purchased by customers. Now, this is um, how we can do this. I think the best way to design this will be a table according to our wireframe diagram. And what we'll do to start off is if we look at our Show Me tab, and if we look at text tables, we'll need one dimension and one or more measures. So with that in mind, let's get our formatted selector. Let's drop it in here. So that'll be our dimension. And then now we need a measure. Now we need to do a count of our orders instead of revenue. So I have created a calculated field called order count in the past, which we have used in our prior videos. If we look at it, this is nothing crazy. This is just a count of the distinct order IDs. So we can use this. Let's drop it into our rows here. Oh, wait, not the rows. Let's drop into details here and labels. Yeah. And for the rows, we want to bring in the product categories instead. So there's two ways of doing it. One, we can bring in the raw data, which has a lot of categories. If you do this, for example, we will see all of the product categories. Let me just try to see if I can change this from standard to the entire view, just to make sure that all the quarters are captured correctly. So as you can see, this is very cluttered. So obviously you could do some filters here and there to only show a few things and whatnot. In our case, we want to show only the top 10 by order count. Okay. And we might want some sorting as well. Or something like this, right? So this is some of the things that we could do to show the top 10 purchases for product categories. Sure. Now, if you don't uh, want to have all of the product categories shown, we can also replace the product category name with our simplified version of our product categories. Where's our group one here? This one. Or this one here, calculated product category, which if you recall, we're only looking at three categories: toys, garden tools, and health and beauty, and everything else is others. Now, obviously, if we use this, we can't show top 10 because we don't have top 10. We only have 4. So I think this is okay for now. Obviously, we could do some formatting here and there. The naming could be better, but let's leave this for now. So this is one way of showing the top 10 product categories that are purchased within the business. We can get rid of this by right-clicking and hide a field label from columns. We can change the title by going here and saying 1.2, top 10 products purchased at, and then let's bring in a parameter and by going into the insert dropdown, project-based selector, bubble, apply. The reason why I did this is because if we go into the parameters pane below, we can make this available by doing a show parameter. And we can change this to month. And then this would change accordingly. Or to a year. Depending on what kind of, what granularity of the business review are we looking at. Also, if we're not interested in looking at all of the data from start to finish, which is from 2016 up to 2018, which is going to be very cluttered at the month and the week level. We can bring in a filter. In our case, we can bring the date of the order purchase timestamp, which we call the calc order purchase date, and bring it to the filter here. Let's drag and drop range of dates, and let's hit apply. Sure, okay, and we can right click this and show filter. We can allow the user to see only a few or a subset of the dates, and accordingly, this has been filtered. You'll see that the ordering is a little bit out of whack. So once more, you need to go sort. And once the pop-up appears, we can sort by the order purchase timestamp, the original data set that we have used. Aggregation is going to be minimum. So that will adjust things there. One thing that I personally like to do is for business reviews based on my personal experience, the leadership usually don't like to see everything that's very long time ago. They like to see more things more recent. The definition of how recent varies, of course, but generally speaking, I would apply a filter here by going to relative dates. And I know that our data goes up to August. So August 15, to be exact, of 2018. And maybe what we want to do is just show data up to the last 3 quarters. So if we look at it from a quarterly view, do we only see 3 quarters? Obviously, if we look at it from a month view, this is going to show 9 months. Yep, that sounds about right. Obviously, a week will be longer, so that will vary, but that's fine. So this is one way of showing your top 10 products purchased at the month level, the year level, or your quarter level. Um, and so we'll move on and we'll start building our next visual of 1.3. In fact, we can actually build 1.4 together with it as well.